What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Maple Finance today, MPL, which is soon to be just syrup, right? We've got Maple and we've got syrup. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe. Let's get into this, okay? So today is the 30th, the final day of the merge here. For anybody that's curious, if you want to read about the merge, I was asking, is Maple Finance merging their MPL token to syrup? Right, I'm aware of this. I've been aware of this for a little bit of time now. I was more asking if that was happening today, but the answer that Grok gave was a little bit more accurate. So it's been happening. It's not that it's happening today. It's been happening. Today is the deadline for the merge to happen. We're at about $13.74 right now for MPL. MPL will no longer exist. There will only be syrup, and syrup is at about 1% the price of MPL, right? 13.8 cents. Maple's at 13.74 cents, right? Or $13.74. Pretty close. Close is close enough. You need to, if you're on Coinbase and you're holding MPL, you need to get out of there. At least sell it and then buy some syrup or something like that, right? Do not be holding MPL after this. It will be a dead token. It won't exist. I'm sure there will still be trading on some exchanges, right? But it's not going to be it's not going to be a good thing to hold long term. It'll probably just die, right? I've seen tokens that have done this, that have merged this cycle plenty of times, and they do just die off, right? The new token is the one that takes over. So here we are using MPL to do our price analysis on syrup, because this is effectively the price history of syrup in itself, right? It's the same thing. It's just a different token with a different price, right? Different circulating supply. That's all. From a relative high here, your all-time high to your all-time low for Maple Finance, you're consolidating well between your 382 and your 786 on a monthly basis. You have a rather neutral month here as far as what it looks. I mean, it is up. You are up 20%, but you have a pretty big wick to the upside and a pretty big wick to the downside. It's an overall neutral candle as far as bullish or bearish sentiment goes. But I will say, for a neutral candle, being up 20% ain't bad. Finding support at the 382 ain't bad either. Prior area of support back here, kind of in these areas of resistance here, and prior areas of support back here as well. So this is looking good in my opinion. You do have lower lows on your monthly RSI, while forming non-lower lows on your price, right? You've actually got basically just a flat base here. So that's a form of hidden bullish divergence, I suppose. Monthly RSIs are weird though, man. Weekly time frame, if we look at the weekly RSI, you're getting overbought. You're having a hard time getting oversold. You are in a downtrend right now, but it seems as though this downtrend hasn't completed its thought, right? You've got the lows here. You've got your highs. Oops, that was not where I meant to draw it. You've got your highs here like that, right? We haven't hit that high end. So even if we are to reject down and come down inevitably, I would think that we have more to go just predicated on this alone, right? It doesn't mean that we have to, but I would think so. If we look at not last week, but 2 weeks ago, we had a very nice bullish engulfing candle from this low here on the 7th, the week of the 7th. How much do we move up overall? What was that pump there from a low to a high? So 113% pump, man. That's nice. I am a bit surprised that we did not see more pumping going into this day here. Normally, these events, they can cause some kind of hype, some kind of rally, and then on the event day itself, that's whenever you sell off. That's kind of what I was anticipating, but it looks like that's not what's happening. Here we are down 8% this week already, and obviously today is the event, so it's probably going to be a good sell the news event. Here we are on top of this very nice move up at the 382. This is actually a very common kind of thing to do, and it gives me hope that today could be the low. Instead of a sell the news event, maybe we're getting a buy the news event. You sold the hype. Maybe it's time to buy the news. Instead of buy the hype, sell the news. For selling the hype, maybe we sell the hype, we buy the news. I don't know. I might buy some syrup on that note, actually. I'm talking myself into buying some syrup, you guys. I've got some cookie. Maybe I'll get some syrup on that cookie. I don't know. But we are at the 382. It's very common. The reason I'm focusing on this, the reason why I'm distracted at all right now is, if you can't tell, is because the 382, you guys, I was just making a video about this with Onyx Coin, okay? Generally speaking, and this is a bad example, but this happens. Sometimes it happens, but generally speaking, whenever you see a strong move, you hold the 382 as support and you continue. You rip from there. There's no ands, ifs, or buts. The fact that we're falling back now on this coin, it happens like less than 10% of the time. I'm using that as an example because here we have another example of a very strong move up. I would call this a strong move up, and it's very specific. You have to have a strong move. What's a strong move? I don't know. This is not a strong move. This clearly, this is clearly a strong move, what we did here, right? Very short amount of time to see a move that was up over 100%. Strong movements strong behaviors. Whenever you consolidate, oftentimes you do find support right at the 382. You can find support at the 382 no matter what. Strong move, weak move, sideways movement, whatever. You can. But it's more common in powerful moves. You do look for this 382 area to find support. Not always. It doesn't mean that you can't go lower, but this would make a lot of sense to find support. And the fact that we've got one example here that already broke the rules, that didn't actually find support and break through, right? The fact that you actually are coming back down and looking like you want to go lower makes me think that here we've got a second one. Our odds are good, even though they're different coins. Our odds are good that this one will behave in accordance. So as long as we find support here, right? We don't know if we found support yet. We are at 1374 right now. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. I'm more than comfortable with calling this a low. Just looking at this right now, I mean, I'm telling you guys, you look at a strong move like this, you get the 382 bounce, or you're right there at the 382. That will rarely guide you in the wrong direction. Okay, likely we're at the low, but let's see if we can confirm this beyond just the 382. Okay. So looking at this here on the daily RSI, you're not really at an area that I would say you bounce from normally. Oh, but actually you did bounce, didn't you? Let's see, we could put a line right here. Maybe you do. Yeah, you bounced right here before. You found a little bit of resistance, resistance, resistance. Hey, for whatever reason, 45 seems to be a number that you respect. Okay, so maybe we are at an area to bounce on the RSI. That's cool. Let's look at the 4-hour time frames. 4-hour RSI here, very, very oversold, which that's not really a good thing. A lot of people look at being in the oversold zone as an opportunity to buy, and of course you'd probably rather buy in the oversold zone and sell in the overbought zone. Of course you would, but if you buy as soon as you get oversold, right? I mean, imagine doing that back here. You're in the red right now. We are moving sideways. We are consolidating. We are very much in the depths of despair here with this oversold zone. Let's see where we are. We could go lower. That's the thing. That's the only thing that I'm trying to say here. And oftentimes it seems as though you do go lower if you're this low in the RSI. So not financial advice, not a financial advisor. If we go lower, it's okay. But you are being this deep does make me think, especially being in a downtrend like this, being this deep does make me think that there will be some kind of turnaround point soon, right? If not today, if not tomorrow, sometime very, very soon. Let's look at the 1-hour time frame. You got some bullish divergence, it looks like, maybe. Let's see. Yeah, a little bit of bullish divergence there. Some interesting price action surrounding the merge today. I might want to look at syrup just because now, you know, we've looked at kind of the long-term stuff with maple. I don't know if it's relevant anymore. I want something with volume on it. Yeah, syrup here is actually looking postured to go to the upside, guys. It's actually looking pretty damn good if I'm being honest. Daily time frame, we still have this relative pump here. Let's just see, right? Because the price is going to be the same more or less, but might be a little bit different, right? Yeah, basically right there. Yeah, I don't know. And hey, wow, the 4-hour actually looks different, doesn't it? Oops, whoa. I don't know what I did there. I pulled out the object tree. The 4-hour RSI is more positive than Maple's is. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, I like this one more. I like the way that this chart looks more, and being that this is going to be the real chart, it might be something actually to rely on a little bit more. It seems as though you'd broken out of this downtrend here. You've had a little breakout. Being this oversold, if you reject the oversold zone, you come down, you could get set up for some higher lows with lower lows. That'd be bullish divergence. But I don't know if you get that, man. Here's what I think. I think you tried. I think you tried to get below this 382. That's what that wick was. You didn't have any volume. Now the volume's coming back, but it's to the upside. Let's look at the 1-hour time frame, right? Because how many hours do we have left in this 4-hour? 1 hour, 25 minutes, so we should have at least 3 candles there. Yeah, look at that. The most volume came in on this candle, probably eating it up to the upside. Look at that. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but it wouldn't surprise me if we were actually at a low point with syrup. This is cool, guys. So if we are at a low point, where are we going to go? This is where we're going to flip back to maple because we don't have enough history on syrup here, right? Looking at maple. 1 second, guys. Okay. And I want to make sure my mic's on. Oh, man. I haven't had a mishap like that in a while, but that means I'm overdue. High to low. High to low. I'm not jinxing it, man. I'm just calling it, okay? It's predictive outcomes is what that is. Anyways, high to low. The expectation would be that when syrup moves up, formerly maple, when it moves up, the price is going to be a bit different. We're not going to move up to 163 bucks. It would be at, approximately like $1.63 instead. But from the current price, I mean, that's a growth. That's like an 11x, 12x move, man. And that's just your minimum target, assuming that everything goes well with the merge, right? And that this thing does well. By the way, if you don't know anything about Maple Finance, I would really suggest looking into it. Let's go here. Let's click here. Type in syrup Maple Finance here. There's probably a lack of volume today because people are just waiting out the merge, seeing how it goes, good or bad, right? Decent volume though. 5% ain't bad, but it's not like crazy volume. Go to their website, and if you want to read about like their white paper or whatever, you want to read about them and find the fundamentals, I really would suggest that, right? Oh man, I have to sneeze. I really have to sneeze. I want to sneeze. I don't know why I'm not sneezing. You scroll all the way down to the bottom, technology, documentation here. That's what you click. Whenever you click on that, this is everything you need to read, right? Every single thing you need to read. You can scroll down and read all that, or you can just click next and it'll take you through this, step by step. If you're wanting to invest, right? Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but if you're looking to invest, you should at least read about the things you invest in. I think it's a really interesting DeFi project. I like what they do. I can see where they're different compared to some of the projects that I'm invested in, compared to some of the DeFi projects that exist in the space. They definitely do stand out. They have some unique mechanisms in play that definitely do make this thing stand out. But that doesn't mean that it's going to that doesn't mean anything, or that doesn't have to mean anything, is what I'm trying to say. It doesn't mean that it has to go all the way up here, but we don't have to see a 12x or anything like that. But again, that's for you to decide. All I'm trying to say is read about it if you're going to invest in it. Don't just take my word for it. But knowing what I know about this thing, I have no problem. I genuinely have no problem, especially being at a market cap of $145 million. I have no problem calling for a 12x move. Absolutely zero. That sounds about right to me. A 12x move, maybe something that's up at around $257, which would imply a $2.57 price for syrup. That would be about a 19x move, maybe a 20x move, and you could go as high, maybe all the way up to the golden ratio. You could see this thing. I know it sounds crazy, man, but you could see a 30-something x with this thing. It really is unique the way that they do their lending and stuff. It's not DeFi. It's a DeFi project. That's what they identify as, but really it's centralized. It's like crypto finance is what it is. It's not like traditional finance. It is like traditional finance. It is like decentralized finance, but it's kind of its own thing. And I want to call it crypto finance. It's crypto-fi. I don't know. It's the way. It's a good way to handle lending. I think you're doing the lending, and all that stuff is done through centralized means, giving you a little taste into what it is that you'll find in the fundamentals here if you read about it. They do the lending through a centralized means, but you can participate in the volume, or you can participate in the lending without doing the lending yourself. You stake your coins, you do whatever, and then they have access to using it, right? So you're getting all the benefits of the centralized part without doing anything, without having to do any paperwork, without having to go to meetings or going to the bank itself and talking to people. You can just stake your coins and it's all there. I don't know. It's interesting. It's interesting perspective. And I'm not the most well spoken with fundamentals, right? I'm more of a chart guy myself, so that's why I don't really talk fundamentals so much. But I really do encourage people to look it up on their own. Anyways, all I'm trying to say is we really could see a spectacular pump here. Maple Finance, effectively, its whole entire existence since 2021 is just one giant consolidation phase. That's all it is. So whenever this thing's ready to go, it's going to go. You're going to see bigger moves than we've seen throughout your entire life. It really wouldn't surprise me. Let's get back to syrup here, and we'll finish this video up. Syrup, I'm definitely interested in buying this thing. I like DeFi projects. I really do. And this one's, it's not really a DeFi, right? It's more like a crypto-fi. But I do like these kind of projects. To me, as far as crypto goes, this is some of the most obvious use cases for crypto, right? Is finance. It really is. It's stuff like this, and I'm not saying that it will. I'm not saying this is the new paradigm in itself, Maple Finance, but it's things like this that are going to uproot the banking system as we know it, that are going to make credit scores going to go away. It's going to make banks have to offer loans at a negative interest rate where they actually pay you to take a loan. It's stuff like this that's going to bring that about, right? Or at least change the dynamics of how banking is done. And banking is a big part of the world, you guys. It's a very big part of the world. We live in a debt-based economy as far as the world is concerned. Anyways, all that to say, looking for a bounce here. It's looking like we actually might get it. It's looking pretty good. If we were to reject, we could reject off the oversold zone here. We might move up and then reject off the oversold zone. If that happens, we might have one final push down. We'll get some bullish divergence and then rip from there. I haven't bought any. I'll let you guys know if and when I do buy some. I've been planning to. Money's tied up a little bit right now. I've got my eyes on some other things that I'm more confident in, and I'm already exposed to a few DeFi projects right now. But I really do love DeFi. I don't know why, but that seems to be the thing that I like the most. Anything that has to do with finance, I think it's not as sexy, but I think that it's going to. I think that there's, we're in the cycle now where financial institutions are coming to play, right? Traditional finance people are coming into the market. So getting into the financial space within crypto itself might make the most sense. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, guys, I don't know if I have anything else that I want to say. Overall, I mean, right now, Syrup's pattern, it just looks like a giant V-shaped recovery. You've kind of got like a V-shaped cup with a handle here. I don't know if it is a cup and handle. I don't know if cup and handles can be V-shaped. I'm pretty sure they have to be rounded, but I really do like this 382 bounce. We're waiting to see what happens. I'll tell you what, if Syrup gets above 15.2 cents, and I haven't bought, I will probably FOMO here, because at that point we know we're not going lower. At that point we should be flipping, and likely what we will see is a continuation of this move here. Likely what we'll see is something that is of a similar magnitude, and you would go from like 15 cents all the way up to 30 cents or something in that kind of area in a very short amount of time, very similar to this. So I've got nothing else to say. I've said everything that I need to say. If we are to go lower, actually low to high, expect 12.4 cent prices, if not even prices that are as low as like 10.75 cents. I doubt we go below 10 cents. And I actually doubt we go below 11 cents. But at this point in time, I even doubt that we go below this low here, below 13.6 cents. But you never know. Time will tell. I've got nothing else for you guys. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. And hopefully everything goes smoothly with the merge. Hopefully there's no hiccups or anything that shake the price up. If everything goes good, I would expect that we do see some growth here in a very, very, very short amount of time. All right, take care. Bye-bye.